Welcome to the Self-Growth Nerds podcast. I'm your host, Marie, a courage coach, creative soul, and adventure seeker. Since through hiking the Pacific Crest Trail in 2019, I'm on a mission to help you embrace your most confident self so you can achieve your dreams too. If you're eager for deep conversations, big questions, and meaningful connections, join me on the quest to discovering how we can create a more magical and memorable life. Hello, nerds! How are you? I hope you're good, but if you're not, this episode is for you. In fact, this episode is for all the humans because we're talking about pain and there's just no avoiding pain in this life. Stuff happens that you don't have control over. We lose jobs, we lose people we love, our plans and our dreams fall to pieces. I mean, if we live fully, we're bound to get our hearts broken in some way. So in today's episode, we're going to explore 3 ways not to avoid pain, but to get better at handling the pain that will inevitably visit you in your life. 3 ways to handle it so that you don't make it any worse than it already is. So let's jump in. The first way is to understand the difference between clean pain and dirty pain. Clean pain is the raw emotion that you feel about what happened in your life. Dirty pain is the unnecessary suffering that we add on top. Dirty pain is when you overthink, you go in circles in your mind, you beat yourself up, you say mean things to yourself. When you tell yourself, why was I so slow? Why am I so sensitive? Why would you even do this? You're so stupid. You made a mistake. You're being lazy. All of this inner self-talk that adds a layer on the pain that you're already experiencing, that is dirty pain. And we go to dirty pain sometimes because it's a distraction from the clean, piercing, raw pain. It seems like a quote-unquote easier kind of pain because we have a certain control over it. If you can make yourself feel guilty, then you don't have to focus on how sad you feel, for example. It's a way of buffering, just like overeating or drinking alcohol. It's a way to avoid the pain, but ultimately, there's no real way to avoid the pain. It's understandable to want to distract yourself from it from time to time, but you get to choose how to do so. Are you going to see friends? Are you going to go for a walk? Are you going to do something with your hands? A question that I suggest asking yourself is, what's the most loving thing I can do for myself right now? And just practice noticing. Are you swimming in dirty pain or are you experiencing clean pain? If you're swimming in dirty pain, I encourage you to pause and to replace the dirty pain with love and compassion and patience for yourself. And if you're experiencing clean pain, I want you to know that this is normal. It just means you have a big heart and that you are human and that you are living fully. Now let's go to number 2. Number 2, don't rush out of it. We try to be efficient. If you're anything like me, which I bet you are, you're like, okay, I'm sad, but I'm going to only give myself 3 days or 3 weeks to be sad. And then I have to get over it. I have shit to do. And then we should ourselves. We tell ourselves things like, this should not affect me so much. I should be over it. Other people have it worse. We give ourselves deadlines for feelings. But that's just not how the human heart works. That's how systems work. And we are not robots. So we've got to rebel against this idea that we have to be productive even in the way that we feel our feelings. This does not make sense. Instead, I want to suggest seeing the way you feel as like a big fluffy monster that's sitting next to you, and it's going to be there for as long as they need to be. You can try to chase it away, to judge it, but it's not just going to disappear. Would be nice if that's how it worked, but it's going to transform. If you try to repress it, if you try to push it away, it's just going to turn into something else. Maybe anger, maybe physical pain. I don't know. We're all so unique. But what I do know is you can't just snap your finger to make sadness go away. Instead, what I do and what you can do if you feel safe enough to go inside your body, if not, you can do it with the help of someone else, is to describe the sensation, the physical sensation. If you were to describe it to an alien, what is it like to experience what's going on for you right now? Does it have a temperature? Does it have a shape? Is it light or is it heavy? Where do you feel it inside your body? And to practice seeing that this sensation is not going to kill you. To almost try to make friends with its presence. Get used to its presence. Just like you would get used to that big fluffy monster next to you. Just like, let's make tea. Let's drink tea together. And sometimes the monster might go away for a few hours or for a few days. And suddenly there you are feeling happy or feeling at peace. And what I see people do, including myself, is judging ourselves for that as well. Making ourselves wrong for feeling okay in the midst of what we're experiencing. I saw that a lot during COVID. People who were feeling good, for example, like someone who hadn't taken time off in forever, and then they felt so rested, more rested than they ever had, felt guilty for gaining positives when so many people were dying and so many people were experiencing grief. There is no right and wrong way to be human. Sometimes it's like we expect our feelings to be linear. Like if something bad happens to you, you should be very sad and then a little less sad and then eventually better. But that's not how it works. That's not how grief works. It's a mess. It's a roller coaster. And it's not a roller coaster that you get to control. So don't rush it. Just put your hands up in the air and go with the flow of the ups and the downs. And the third way to handle pain without making it worse is to accept the help. But we find that so challenging because we have so much ego, and also we wonder if we deserve to break down in front of someone. I know that I have found myself calculating like, oh, has this friend ever broken down in front of me in the last year? If yes, then okay, it's my turn now. If no, then okay, well maybe I'm going to be a burden, so I should choose someone else. The idea that we should be able to handle pain on our own is ludicrous. We need other people. And you are not a burden. The people who love you want to be there for you. It makes them feel important. And it will make both of you closer. And I don't know about you, but for me, in the midst of the chaos, getting close to another human being, feeling seen in our pain, makes the human experience more meaningful. And there's beauty in that. So please tell people you're in pain, and you might be surprised at who jumps out of the woodwork to offer their support. Someone that you might have not been that close to might surprise you. And you'll feel so grateful to be shown how loved you are. And you know what? You will also give other people permission to come to you when they are feeling pain. And this, if you don't do it for yourself, at least do it for them. Do it so that you show them, the people that you love, that it is safe to break down in front of you by breaking down in front of them. Brené Brown says it. You've got to be vulnerable for other people to know it's okay to be vulnerable as well. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for the people that you love. And let's end this episode with a summary of the 3 ways to handle pain and also 3 questions to ask yourself. So, the first way to handle pain is to know the difference between clean pain and dirty pain and try to replace dirty pain with love and compassion for yourself and allow the presence of the clean pain in your heart. Step 2, don't rush out of the pain. If you try to run away, it is going to find you. And lastly, ask for help. Surround yourself with people who are happy to support you. You do not have to do this alone. And questions to ask yourself: what would you want to hear from a friend right now? Repeat that to yourself. Sometimes we struggle to be compassionate towards ourselves, and we're so good with other people. So you have to shift perspective by asking yourself either, what would I tell a friend in this situation? Or what am I desperate to hear from a friend right now? Another question is, what can I do for myself that's most loving? And lastly, what do I need most right now? And take it one step at a time. It's not time to make big decisions. It's not time to make a plan of action, because you don't know what's around the corner. You don't know how your feelings are going to evolve and change. So what do I need most in this second? Is it a bath? Is it a friend? Is it a phone call? Is it a hug? Is it to binge a Netflix show or to reread your favorite book? What do I need most in this second? And you go do that. All right? Save this episode and re-listen to it as often as you need. I'm sending you lots of love, and I swear that on the other side of pain, there will be joy. There will be love, there will be freedom, and you're going to be okay. I will speak to you next week. Bye-bye. If you love what you're hearing on the Self-Growth Nerds podcast and you want individual help finding a new direction for your life and developing the courage to make your dreams a reality, you have to check out how we can work together on selfgrowthnerds.com or message me on Instagram at selfgrowthnerds. My clients say they would have needed that support years ago. So if you're tired of feeling like you're wasting your life, don't wait. Get in touch now, and I cannot wait to meet you.